Well, hello everyone. It's North Dakota Transplant. Yes, we're back at the Buffalo River today. I have to tell everyone I attempted to do this on my way home yesterday and ran into a couple of problems, one of which was my batteries went dead and I didn't have any batteries with me. So we're going to try it again today. I'm multitasking today. I needed to walk. I need to walk a lot. I've already been on the trail for quite some time. Thought this was a good spot to stop and get the camera out. Here's what I'm planning to do for everyone today. I'm going to go through the last 10 months of inventory through my over half 100-year-old brain, and I'm going to try to come up with every possible tip and hint and piece of information that I think would be useful to anyone that's thinking about coming up here. So we're going to just start walking while I'm talking. First thing, anybody that's thinking about coming to North Dakota for the oil boom, let me just say this. The chance to just really score the big win and get terribly rich is probably not anywhere near what it was when this thing started, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago maybe. The problem now is that the cost of living has caught up with the kind of money you can make, so that you really need to take a look at your situation. I realize that there are places where things are pretty dismal when it comes to employment and things like that. But realistically, if you end up in a place where it costs you between $2,000 and $3,000 for a place to live, yeah, you might be making some excellent money, but in reality, I've talked to a number of people who said that they actually had more money to spend before they came up here. They weren't making near as much money, but they weren't paying near as much money either. Which brings me to the Williston area especially. Everything that you do up here is going to cost you more money. For one thing, there is no dollar menu at McDonald's. There's a value menu, and it starts at $1.39. So if you want your McDouble that you can get practically anywhere else in the country for $1, it's going to cost you 40% more. And that can be applied to just about everything. So, next piece of advice, if you're planning to come up here, prepare yourself as best you can before you leave. Meaning, if there's anything that you know that you're going to need up here, take the time to try to find it and purchase it before you come. The last thing you need to do is spend an extra 40% on things that you could pick up before you head up this way. As far as jobs go, there are every possible job imaginable. Any field, pick it, I don't care, name it, you can find a job. From nurses to office workers, warehouse workers, hotel workers, restaurant workers, any kind of retail, basically anything. Plumbers. I just saw an ad this past week. The North Dakota State Patrol is hiring. So if you're into law enforcement, you might want to look into that. I think the testing goes through June 19th in Fargo and Grand Forks. And then I think up until like maybe July 3rd in Bismarck. So any law enforcement people, that might be something you want to look into. Other than that, when you get up here and you're traveling across North Dakota, if you think that you would like something to eat or would like to perhaps use the restroom and you see a place to do that, I would advise you to stop and do exactly that. You will be surprised at how far you might have to drive until you get the next opportunity. This is a very sparsely populated state. Just to give you some idea, I came from Omaha, Nebraska. Now, nobody is going to put Omaha, Nebraska at the top of big cities lists. But there are more people in the metropolitan Omaha area than there are in the entire state of North Dakota. So, it can be a long ways between stops. That's my next word of advice. Also, if you are someone who can't stand waiting in line or waiting period, you're not going to be very happy up here. You can remove the words real quick from your vocabulary if you're headed to the Williston area, because there's nothing there that can happen real quick. Everything you do is going to take longer. Everything you do is going to cost you more money. It's just the way it is. If you plan on coming up here for the long haul, recommended that you get your winter clothing at a decent supplier. Talked to a number of people who bought stuff at Walmart and basically said they wasted their money. They ended up having to rebuy the good clothing. So, you know, get some Carhartt stuff that's going to serve the purpose and not just take up your money and still leave you not as comfortable as you should be. Let's see. Find out as much as you can before you get here. Now, one tip, though, that I've heard numerous times is you will not have much luck getting responses to phone calls or emails if you're not in the Williston area, if your intention is to work in the Williston area. Most places are not even interested in speaking with you unless you're here. There are thousands of people looking into the possibility of coming up here to make their fortunes, so they just don't have the time or the resources to bother with anyone who's not actually here. I would recommend, if you're coming up here to get in the oil business, do your research, find out about the companies, find out what companies do what it is that you want to do, find out as much about that company as you can. Do all of that before you get here. If you're going to show up here to try and find a job, show up in person. Show up with an attitude that tells that employer that you're willing to do whatever it takes to be successful and to help his company with whatever services it is that they're offering. Set up a bank account. Bring at least an extra $100. Open yourself a checking account at one of these local banks or credit unions. This is a terrible place trying to get checks cashed. There's only two places in Williston that will cash checks. That's Walmart and Albertsons. They won't cash anything handwritten. There are many companies that have been red flagged on lists for banking problems. They won't cash those checks. So your best bet's going to be just open an account, get it over with, bring the extra $100, get it opened up. That way you've got a place to deposit your checks. Yes, initially you're going to have to wait the 10 days for the check to clear before you get all the money, so be prepared for that as well. There are not that many big banks in the Williston area. U.S. Bank is really about the only national known bank that you're going to find up there. If you get here and you're looking for work and you don't know where to start, go to the local bars. There cannot be enough said for the rubbing of elbows, the talking with people who are there already doing whatever it is you might be looking into wanting to do. There's one place that I've heard is very popular. It's called Wildcat Pizzeria. It's on Highway 2 and 85, just as you're coming into town, at the edge of town, actually before you get to 26th Street. Sits on the east side of Highway 2, which is running north and south at that point. We've covered that in some previous videos. Well, folks, that's about as much as I can give you as far as advice goes. I just want to say thank you to all of you people. You're freaking awesome. you make this one of the most enjoyable things I've ever done, to be honest with you. It's a beautiful day. It's Sunday, June 2nd. I am going to get some more exercise. Now, following this video, there's going to be an introduction to my Silver Susie. Yes, that's my automobile. I've had more than a handful of questions, comments, so I'm going to do a nice little walk around. I'm going to introduce you to my car. So if you're not interested in that, you can skip the next posting. I hope you're having a great weekend. Love everybody. Be kind to people around you. Help someone, make them smile, make them laugh. Feels pretty good when you can make someone else laugh. Not to mention, it's hard for anyone to be angry or upset with you if you can make them laugh. So again, great weekend everyone, and we'll be doing the Silver Susie after this one. Bye.